Welcome, everybody. Bring it in, friends. Bring it in. Welcome. Welcome. Hello, Binky. Megan. There, Miku. Over on the YouTubes. Welcome, friends. Come on in. Come on in. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We've all had a good week. It's been a good week. It's neat kind of coming here toward the end of our school years. So, like, winding down my programs is nice. Ethan, welcome. Liz, Lola May, Amaya, welcome. Michelle G, hola. Lazy Gator, Edna Moan, Frozone, Fanboy Suit Creation. That'd be funny. Whisper Crafts, hello. Thank you for joining. Lovely to have you with us. So, speaking of like crazy things, I need to play with it more. But, I did go ahead and bite the bullet. And I'm paying for, like Google Ultra. And I'm playing around with VO3. It's interesting. VO3 is fascinating. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to fully use it yet. And I really only just started playing with it. So, yeah, it's like I just started playing with it. And it's neat. I'm not sure if I'm going to do like full, what does that mean? Community leaderboard. Huh. Wonder what that means. The new thing. It's over on YouTube. I'm just noticing that everybody has like numbers by them. It's like number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Like the new leaderboard thing. Fascinating. It's new on YouTube Studio. Interesting. Food for thought. I'm sorry your breathing's blocked, Edna. I'm sorry, Miku. That sounds frustrating, to say the least. Nyonways, bonjour. It's for Blackjack. It's for top commenters. Interesting. Top commenters. Okay. Okay, well, there you go, I guess. That's fascinating. YouTube doing new things. Nothing wrong with that, I suppose. What's up, Eric? Welcome. Yeah, I'm stuffed up. It's brutal. I cannot stand being sinus blocked. You know, it's really deeply frustrating. So I get it. For me, I think the only thing that's often helped was two things that seem to sort of help. If you're going to take a pill, I don't know, I'm not sure where you live. If you live in the United States or you live in Europe, I don't know. If you live in the United States and you have access to a Sudafed. So pseudoephedrine is basically kind of like low-grade meth, which is why you have to have a driver's license and you're only allowed to buy a few boxes of it at a time, because people literally were buying it up and then like turning it into meth. So it's like, it's a stimulant. That seems to help a little bit with the sinus stuff. And other than that, the best is some kind of a nasal spray. Zicam. Some kind of a nasal spray will give me some relief. Other than that, though, just brutal. Just time. Yeah, it sucks. Monday was a good day, so a couple things. So I got new mattresses. So we treated ourselves to a new mattress. So far, it's really nice. It's a memory foam mattress, which is I'm a big fan of memory foam mattresses, and Yeah, first couple of nights, I like it. Try Sinex. So over on Twitch, this comment is for Miku. My mod says, yeah, it's a try Sinex, Sinex. Might make you feel a little loopy. Oh, no loopy side effects. Oh, well, there you go. No loopy side effects. What does memory foam do? Well, memory foam is that it was developed by NASA. I forget exactly what they were trying to do, but there's a lot of neat stuff that comes out of the space program that you and I take for granted. I remember there's a bunch of stuff that came out of interesting. Anyway, hey there, Annie. Good to have you with us. It was a technology developed by NASA, and it's so the mattress itself is like a foot thick, and it's foam. There's no springs, and it's one of those. What blew me away when the guys showed up to deliver it is one, they were late. So for those that don't live in the United States, this last weekend was Memorial Day weekend. Monday was a holiday honoring all of the soldiers who have fallen in battle. So Veterans Day honors all active service members. Memorial Day is an honor to all the veterans who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Anyway, whatever. So that Monday was a holiday, and it's also known as like this huge furniture sale. So like Home Depot and Lowe's and living spaces and furniture places all do like these big Memorial Day sales. What better way to celebrate the eternal sacrifice of a loved one than by buying a refrigerator? Anyway, it is what it is. We did the same. We bought mattresses. Anyway, the point is, so the dudes deliver the mattresses, and they show up in the truck, and they were late, which was annoying. But in fairness to them, I was like, "How's it going, dudes? Like, what took you so long?" And they were like, "Dude, we have been so busy today. We have been so busy. You're like our 16th stop, and at a lot of the places we had to assemble the furniture." I was like, "Bro, that's crazy." Anyway, so they had a busy day on Tuesday, and but anyway, they get off the truck, and I see these small boxes, they don't look that big, pop off the back of the truck, and I'm going I didn't order a freaking lamp. I ordered a bed, not a lamp. Out of the box comes this tightly rolled tube, and I'm not even kidding you. The king size mattress, was maybe this big around. It was the width of a king size mattress. So it's about, the width of my arm span, right? The width of my arms is about the width of a king size mattress. But it was rolled up and compressed into something about this big. Then we got a twin mattress for a day bed, and that was actually really small. I couldn't believe it. And so anyway, homeboys, seriously, Megan, homeboys show up. They roll out, they unfold this big mattress, and homie takes this box cutter carefully and opens it up. They take the plastic off, flop it down on the bed, and it's it just expands into an instant mattress. And it was wild. Anyway, very, very cool. So we got new beds, so that was what we got done. That was one of the big things we got done on Monday. And then we did some other I was going to go to Costco, but Costco is closed on Memorial Day. They actually treat their employees well. Anyway, when to go in the grocery store, just some other stuff. My weekend, I had a really nice weekend though. I hope you all did too. In hypergalaxy, I forget when NASA invented memory foam. Probably in the 60s, in the 50s or the 60s. There's a lot of like wild technology that you and I take for granted that came out of the space program, which is one of those things where it's like, no, my forehead's fine, Miku, and I only speak English. I speak a tiny bit of German, tiny bit of Spanish. That's it, but I only speak English. Yeah, it is fun adulting. I forget what other technology, like, I think microwaves came out of NASA. What else came out of NASA? There's a bunch of, 1966. There's a bunch of stuff, though, that we just take for granted that came out of the space program, which is always funny. So at the time, now we look back with like great nostalgia at 1969, 1968, when we were trying to get our astronauts onto the moon and, beat the Russians, in the Cold War and the space race, right? And there were a lot of people who would say, well, this was freeze drying. There you go. This is a waste of money. Why are we sending people to the moon? We have problems right here at home, right? And it's like, I get it. The thing is, though, if you're not pushing the boundaries through like really incredibly hard things, if you're not pushing those boundaries of what's humanly possible, it's the old, the rising tide lifts all boats things. So I think it's important to do both, to explore, to push the edge of boundaries, to push the edge of what we can achieve, what we can do as a people, as a society, and we need to take care of. I just think we can do it all. It occurs to me as completely possible that we can do it all. Why not? I don't know, we live in a neat world, man. And it's only getting neater. Like I said, so now I've been playing with Google's VO3, which for those that don't know, it's their new, yes, and Guten Abend, Jaden, Guten Abend. And I'm sorry I have back issues, man. Back pain sucks. I feel for you, Maya. Brutal. And good evening to you, Krabra. Guten Abend. Yeah, it's just the light, Miku. I'm sure if I go like this, ready? Wait, that didn't work. That still didn't work. Hold on. Let's try to do some cool light stuff, but it doesn't want to work. Probably needs a new battery. Doesn't matter. Your German isn't good, but your friend is German. Oh, there you go. My German sucks too, buddy. So you and I are in the same boat. But it's just neat to be living in this world where I can type a prompt into a thing, and like, it looks cool. Like, it looks cool. It like VO3, it only makes 8-second clips, but dude, it's wild how, oh yeah, you're Freundin, not Freundin. IN is feminine, EN is masculine. Your girlfriend. Well, congratulations on your girlfriend speaking German. It's just wild. Like, yes, they're 8-second clips, but in the not too distant future, those 8-second clips are going to be 30 seconds, 1 minute long. And in the not too distant future, we're going to be completely just saying, hey, okay, build me a scene, and you'll type out a paragraph and it'll make it happen. Like, that's coming very soon. And Megan, did I use it in the summer meditation video? No, I didn't use it. The way I did the firefly lights, that was actually done. Hey, Sleepy Bread. Good evening, my friend. Always a pleasure to have you with us, darling. Now I feel inspired to give you some cool, like name trace. I'm gonna give you a cool name trace, bro. Let's do it. Why not? He's a homie, man. Sleepy Bread's dope. Sleepy Bread ASMR. 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 Sleepy Bread. Okay. Let's do a fun little name trace for a homie. Sleepy Bread. I'm doing good, man. It's been a good week. Getting a lot of things done. Oh yeah. Let's play around here with some funky stuff. Let's do a name trace for my friend and yours, Sleepy Bread. ASMR. Sleepy Bread. Sleepy Bread. Sleepy Bread. Sleepy Bread. everybody. And just playing around with things like name traces and just generally being silly. But sleepy bread, my friend. Wonderful to see you. Hope you're doing really good. It's been a good week over here in Casa de Jeremiah. Yeah, no complaints, my friend. No complaints. No complaints. Hope you're doing really well. Oh, no, mate, you're the goat. I don't know. Listen, neither of us can really be the goat. Who's the goat right now? JoJo? Zeitgeist? Fred's voice? GB. GB's probably the goat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got some big shoes to fill. Big shoes. But although, on the other hand, not really. Don't have any shoes to fill. I'm not Fred's voice. I'm good. Went back to fighting today. Oh, nice, mate. Nice. Very cool, dude. Ronnie Mobrew. Look at you, man. So good to see you, mate. I'm giving you a hug, Ronnie. It's been a long time. Come here, Ronnie. Come here, you little fin. Come here. You. Great to see you, bro. Good to see you, Ronnie. Come here, mate. Hope you're doing great. Fist bump. Blue, 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 blue. No, really wonderful. Thanks, Lola, man. Glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's a fun little thing to do, is to play around with echo and sound things. It's neat sounding. I like it a lot. What does that mean you went back to fighting? Are you a boxer? Sorry, Tommy. A little bit of MMA, a bit of jiu-jitsu. You did a bit of boxing there. Little punch. I, myself, am not a fighter. I am kickboxing. Good for you, mate. I am not a fighter. I did Kempo karate when I was a wee lad. Talking like up to 11 years old is when I quit. But, yeah, good for you though, mate. I love that for you. Very cool. Rocking the kickboxing, man. And Mr. Barbudo, thank you on the 100K. Yeah, that was a neat little milestone we did. Sorry, thanks for coming in and saying hi, Mr. Barbudo, and sweet dreams, my friend. Salutes. Yeah, thanks, Charlie Greg. Appreciate it, man. Hey there, Kyle, represent Tennessee. What's up there, Evan Flores? You're a little Keo for vibes, a little drunk. Well, depends on what time it is, I suppose. Although I'm sure you're in Europe, so probably 9-10 p.m. So not too bad. Hey, Ronnie, it's been a while. You popped up in my feed now. I can't sleep without one of my shushing videos. Aw, too well. I'm glad that it helps, my friend. I'm glad that, for those that don't know, by the way, Ronnie, our friend over there on YouTube, is responsible for designing my logo. So when you see like my little ASMR Jeremiah logo with the outline of my beard, the outline of my face there, that was designed by our friend Ronnie. So thank you, Ronnie. It's very cool, man. Very cool. Today's Father's Day in Germany. Oh, that's wonderful, Hypergalaxy. If you're a German father, all the Deutsche Vaten, vielen Dank und viel Glück to all the German dads out there. Shout out to you. And yeah, Vitox, you're not wrong. Yeah, I'm not like on like a crazy spike in my subs, but I'm pretty steady. It's also public holiday. Oh, it's a bit of a drinking day. Oh, nice, Hypergal. That makes total sense, especially in Germany, Father's Day. Yeah, it's a great excuse to have a Stein or two. Have a Stein or two. Come to Germany. Deutschland calls for you to come back. Vielen Dank, mein Lieber. Und alle die deutsche Leute, vielen Dank. I would love to come back and visit Germany. Amazing place. Great people, great food. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think a lot of great stuff about Germany. In the summertime, too. Oh, it's so beautiful in the summertime. It's very lush. Very lush. Melissa, big fan, but when's the next Joker video? Melissa. I don't know. The Joker is fun, I'm not gonna lie. It takes a bit more prep. The whole makeup thing. But the Joker is very fun. I don't know. Probably the next month or so I'll do another Joker video. Hola, Kaka. And Lachlan, big fan of the guided meditations. Oh, dude, yeah, Lachlan. Whenever Padre comes out to visit, or if I go visit them in Dayton, I might do another one. It's genuinely fun. Like, you know, what's funny about me doing the Italy's amazing too, though, Moon Reaper. I love visiting anyway. The fun thing about, for me, hypnosis, or when I personally go under hypnosis, I find it extremely enjoyable. I mean, I don't know what your experience of listening to me do a hypnosis style video is. It's hard to, like, listen to myself, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't, like, really, it's just weird. But if your experience of going through the meditation that I do for you is anything like what it is for me to go through it with my own dad, unreal. Like, it's just soothing. But again, you know, but I also have so much trust in my dad, you know. So I trust him. I trust my dad, and because of that, I can just deeply I have zero guards up. Let's go for this ride. And he's like, picture this. I'm like, okay, I'm picturing that. You know, I am just going along for the journey, and so it's just deeply satisfying to me to be hypnotized, or at least go into like a hypnotic state. It just feels mushy and pleasant, and you just feel, well, because when you're really hypnotized, the beauty of it is you're just totally present, you know. And when you're really present, you're just not worrying about yesterday's problems and tomorrow's problems. So you just think right now, and then in your mind you're like either in the deep blue lake meditation, or you're in a Italian, you know, French or the Swiss Alps, or maybe you're on the beach or whatever happy place, or maybe I'm walking down a path in a forest and I go down a thing. Like, whatever I'm doing, my mind is like vividly thinking of it. And it's not like Moonreaper, I've used your ASMR and riding the overnight shift on an ambulance. We're getting slammed with call. Wow, thanks, bro. That's crazy. Shout out. It's just so nice. And Speedoff, I'll do another roulette wheel, another roulette ASMR eventually. Yeah, it's fun. It's louder. Like, it's harder to, I have to really soften the audio when I do roulette, because it's a tinky, sharp sound, you know. So, but it's fun to do roulette, you know, and brush up on the rules before I play it again. Well, you know, and as far as like, you know, like hypnotize 100%. Thank you, Spidey. John, this is actually live brew. I don't have a favorite trigger word, Charlie. And Discord Kate, I did not see my spirit animal in the deep blue lake. I did not. Good knock, JD. Thank you, Kyle. I'm glad you like the Kentucky Derby one, man. Appreciate it, dude. And hey there, Miriam. Favorite character to act out in a video, Alyssa. I love Edna. I love Joker. I love Helmut. Those are my top 3 favorite. Dimitri. It's very fun playing Dimitri. It's also fun playing Teddy Quid. Haven't played Teddy Quid in a while. I just like all my characters, mate. You know what I need to do? I need to do an Australian character. That's what I haven't done. I haven't made okay, hang on. What's the character's name? Bruce? What's the Australian? Hey there, Linda. Lovely to have you with us. If we did an Australian character, what would be a good name for an Australian character? Not Bruce. Something else. Maybe. What's like an Australian sounding name? What's a good Australian sounding name? Like, in England. Like Nigel. Just sounds so English. Like Dmitri. Sasha. Yuri. These all sound very Russian. Do we have any... no worries, Linda. Pleasure to have you with us. Do we have... What's an Australian sounding name? Nah, Nigel's too British sounding. What's an Australian sounding name? Everybody's saying Nigel. Are there a lot of Australians named Nigel? Can't be. Nah, can't be. Ooh, Angus. Or Australian. Bradley. Angus. Bradley. Like Steve. That's a Steve Irwin. Doesn't sound specifically Australian in any particular way. So, maybe they don't. Maybe Australians just don't have them. Ryan. But, Lachlan, do these names to you all sound like Australian? Maybe that doesn't exist. There's a good chance. Kylie. See, Kylie sounds a bit more Australian. Kylie does. Mel. Yeah, we need that dude pops up once in a while to do something. Wait, what's that? Sheila. Yeah, Sheila. Sheila sounds super Australian. But obviously that's a female. So that necessarily wouldn't. I mean, I can always play a female. There's no gender roles can always be flopped around. Cooper. William. Steve. Cooper. Australian. Cooper. Ranger. You deaf bugger. What to think about that? And like, what kind of a character, Bruce? What kind of character I would want to play that's Australian? What to think about that? Because I've said this before, Oliver, the Oliver bear, doesn't sound Australian enough to me though. Bondi Beach. Sydney could be an Australian name. City as well as a person. Oliver. Brody could be a fun name. Brody. Cody. Brody. Australian name Brody. It's not bad. I haven't heard the name though that's gonna like is that like we're kidding Mick Wombat Wallaby. Rango. Oliver. Interesting. You're all getting into it. Mick Wombat Wallaby. Rango. Interesting. Yeah. It's food for thought. And Mick. Michael J. Crocodile Dundee. Mick Dundee. Maybe Mick? Mick from Down Under. Well, Statham is basically when I do my, if I do a Teddy Quid impersonation, I'm basically channeling as much Statham as I can. But anyway, food for thought. I'll let this one noodle around, and maybe I'll figure out a good character to play. But, anyway, I want to get back to the AI thing. I mean, have any of you guys played with the new AI tools yet? Have you guys played with the new Gemini or the new VO3 or Flow? Has anybody, Boomer, Nick Didgeridoo, That's a funny name. Australia, what's your name? Boomer. Boomer what? McDidgeridoo. That's just funny. Oh, man. Finn? Finn's not a bad name. Finn, Australia. Finn from Australia. I'll come up with something one of these days. It's going to put that Australian. Hugh Jackman. Mel. Hugh. What are the famous Australians out there? Kurt. Although I think technically Kurt Russell is a Kiwi, but then he grew up in Australia. Russell Crowe. Not Kurt Russell, Russell Crowe. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Russell. I think Russell's technically a Kiwi, but then he grew up in Australia, or vice versa. I forget which way he went. He is one or the other, but then lives in the other one. I think he's a Kiwi, but lives in Australia as he's like a cattle farmer. Russell Crowe's a funny guy. He's like, yeah, this famous actor now. He's like a cattle farmer, doing his thing. Good for him, making the occasional movie. You only use ChatGPT for translation help with our Ukrainian scouts. Well, that's pretty neat though, right? It's a neat use. Tucker Possum Cheeks. Funny name. Tucker Possum Speak. Make more videos about Dr. Dad, therapy of grief. Yeah, maybe. It's always a depressing subject though, it's the problem either. Somebody made a gospel album of Eminem and Adele. Lord, this generation's done. Well, here's the thing. I mean, the new Claude 4's pretty crazy, especially for coding. I don't doubt that. And the thing is, and it's only gonna get better. Because Philip, I've never sat when I've live streamed. Everybody sits, not me. I'm like the one person I know that does ASMR standing. I've always done it. Originally, I did it standing because, as a voiceover artist, one thing that you learn is that your voice is better and you have more breath control when you're standing. So whenever I'm recording audiobooks or doing a voiceover job or doing a TV commercial or anything for voiceover work, I had always done it standing up in my little space. And when I began my journey into ASMR, I just kept it going. And thought, well, if I'm used to standing up, might as well stay standing up. Yeah, so why not? Patient before, but I wish you a good day. I really hope not have a heart attack. Me too, that sounds terrible. Hyper Galaxy, I have done voiceovers. I haven't done voiceover work in a long time, if I'm being honest. Doing ASMR has completely taken over the creative side of my life in a really fun way, though. Again, I'm incredibly grateful. Name I make today, theater name tomorrow. Not sure what that means. Thank you, Hypergalaxy. I appreciate it. And, no, Creeley chairs is a plus. Wait, Ronnie, what is a Creeley chair? What's a Creeley chair? Thank you, Hypergalaxy. Yes, I do accents. I do a lot of accents. What's a Creeley chair? I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, it's wild, though, with these AI tools. Like, again, they're as bad. It's only gonna get better from here. So, like, as amazing as it is right now, like, what is VO4 gonna be like? Like, what the heck, dude? Like, if VO3 can do this, and it's almost photorealistic, I mean, you can kind of tell that it's not full. Perfect, looking good. So we have dog training today. Nice. No, creaky chair. Oh, creaky. I'm like, what are you talking about, Ronnie? Nice. magic. Cool. That's tight. So yeah, we have a dog training this evening. Let's see. And I created a whole algorithm for investing with 400 lines. That's hilarious. Good for you, man. Kind of hate taking my algorithms on different semis. So annoying. Yeah, well, tell you what, that's the thing. I mean, it's just gonna be, it's the new future. And that's why I'm starting to play with it. And I need to get decent at it. Because in the not too distant future, I'll be able to make anything I want look like me, sound like me. And as long as I'm using my own likeness and my own voice, I should be able to not copyright myself. So then it's like, okay, have a video of me anywhere in the world doing anything that I want. Like, boy, that's weird. Isn't that wild? Like, I don't even know how much longer I have a job, because in the not too distant future, you will be able to go, okay, make me an ASMR Jeremiah video in the style of Edna Mode, reading me a lullaby. And the AI will just go, darling, once upon a time, there was a little Red Riding Hood, and she wanted to deliver a special package to her grandmother. So, little Red Riding Hood got her things together, got her basket, filled her basket with provisions, darling, threw on a comfortable summer dress, and walked off into the deep, dark woods. She was able to do her journey safely, and within a few hours she came upon a house. And it was a beautiful, cute, safe house. It was, of course, her grandmother's house. And then, it'll just do that. It'll just do that. So, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But that's gonna be, in the not-too-distant future. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be in the not-too-distant future. I think, of course, many of you all, I think we're several years away, in the sense that you will be able to create your own whatever you want. Okay? It'll be photorealistic. It'll sound real. It'll be like that, at least for the next year or two. But I think many people will want real content from a live human. At least I think. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I'm guessing that I'm doing great, Shanika, that at least for a while, that you all will prefer the actual Jeremiah. That sense of me actually talking to you, and that sense of it'll feel that way. Yeah, but Hyper Galaxy, you haven't played with VO3. Check out VO3. It's like Sora, but for anybody, and it even does sound. So VO3 right now can make videos with sound, and it's only the beginning. It's only gonna get better. It's only gonna keep getting faster, smoother, more engaging. It's neat, man. But, excuse me, that is a real question, Megan, Would you prefer the real me or your own personal version? I don't know. That's the thing. We're going to enter that weird territory in but like Camilo was saying, as ChatGPT, could you give me a Jeremiah Joker impersonation? Thanks. And all of a sudden, you're going to have me doing the Joker, and it'll just happen. And you want the Joker to tuck you in, you want the Joker to be your therapist, and you want your Joker to, be a watchmaker. Do you want the Joker to be a lumberjack? Do you want the Joker to doing what you want it to be doing? And he'll just do it. The AI will just do it. So that's coming soon. That's coming real soon. And how much longer do I have a job? I have no idea. I don't know. I think the real connection should last for a minute. I think. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll find out, in the next couple of years. We are already in the Uncanny Valley. And the Uncanny Valley, take care, Lola May. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming and saying hi. Appreciate you dropping in and saying hello, Lola May. Till the next time. But, yeah, we'll see when, in the next few years. So the Uncanny Valley is when things look pretty realistic. But it's almost creepy because it's not quite photorealistic. So it's like modern video games, like Modern Warfare and like other video games are like they're close. Like they're real close to looking real, but in the very near distant future, you won't be able to tell. Like in the near future, you and I are going to be playing a video game, and it will literally feel like we're walking through a jungle, and it won't look animated. It'll look like real forest, jungle, beach, the moon, inside of a volcano, jumping off of a huge cliff and flying and soaring through the air. And it'll look 100% photorealistic. And like we're real close, team. We are real close. I know, Ronnie. The Uncanny Valley is weird. That's why it's uncanny. But we're in the Uncanny Valley. But not for long. Not for long. Eric, you got pulled over, went smoothie. But I was like, man, I wish I'd turn my out. Just you get pulled over video. That's funny, Eric. And I can tell you the best thing you can do when you get pulled over is just be polite. It's really hard being a police officer. The reality is being a police officer is a brutally dangerous job. They all have PTSD. And every time they pull up to a car, they just don't know what's going to be on the other side. So just be real polite. Put your hands on 10 and 2. Turn your engine off. Roll your window down. Say, yes, ma'am, no, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And just be nice. Just be nice, man. And that's what I'm saying, Linda. Like, there's definitely stuff. Like, okay, recently, what's the one that everybody's freaking out about with the kangaroo being let onto an airplane, but the kangaroo was AI generated, but it had all these people like pissed off about like that whatever airline didn't let a kangaroo onto the flight, and that is all AI. It's like What? What? Like, you sometimes you can tell. Sometimes. Other times, we're already past it. You can't tell anymore. Like, yeah, you thought that was real. Nope. That wasn't real. We all got tricked. It's just like, yeah, so we're already there. And it's only going to get better, man. Obviously, it's easier with animals because our eyes aren't nearly as in our because it looked so real, Megan. Obviously, our eyes are really attuned to notice human faces, human hands, right? Hands are really tricky for AIs because there's all those weird motions and shadows, and like hands are just like squirrely. I did not moonreap. I did not see a message, but they're getting close. They're getting real close. And when you look at faces, human faces have all these tiny little micro shadows and these little wrinkles and these little things that makes my face look human to you and live, like it's not fake, you know. And there's always like little wrinkles and the lights and the reflections in my skin and like all the imperfections and all those little things that make my face look real to you. And dude, yeah, as someone who's into game design, you're concerned. It is simply yeah, I don't know if I know. It's like, should we be concerned about it? It just is. You know what I mean? Like, being concerned about it is kind of like being concerned that it's gonna rain. It's like, I don't know, it's gonna rain. Nothing you can do about it. I guess you can worry about it if you want, but it's gonna happen. And there's nothing we can do about it. It's like AI. It's like that train has left the station. Like it's chugging. Like it's picking up steam right now down the train track. We have not hit terminal velocity, but like the train is pulling out of the station. And, you know, two things are going to happen simultaneously, which is really wild. I talk about this with my family quite a bit. Pardon me, excuse me. So I talk about this with my family quite a bit, where, yeah, exactly, Megan, and exactly Indiana Jones, right? Many of us are playing sports. Just go play sports. Go play the games you like. Just go play and try to get better. Just have fun. That's the key. You're going to have two things happen simultaneously with AI. One group of humans, probably the group that, like, you, frankly, you and I are probably on this train, okay? You're using Twitch and YouTube live, so you're already in the world of like, oh yeah, I go to Twitch and I go to YouTube and I watch things live and I watch gamers and I like you're all online. You know what I mean? Like if you're here and watching me and you consume ASMR, you're online, right? And resveratrol seems. Oh yeah, I've heard about resveratrol. We'll see. That's gonna get wild, man. It's gonna be fascinating stuff. Can AI make the Rams win the Super Bowl? Let's hope so. I doubt it. Richard. But maybe. We'll find out. But probably not. In that, we probably have to trust in Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua. Maybe Jalen Ramsey. Coming back. Sick corner. Anyway, we got a team this year. We'll find out what happens. We could. We'll find out what happens. We got a good lineup this year. But, amen, Linda. It's already happening. I think we talked about this before. In the very near future, doctors are going to replace. I'm sorry, AI is going to replace doctors, lawyers, accountants. What else? Basically any type of white-collar job, it's going to replace. And it already kind of is. I mean, there was a recent study done, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if I did talk about this on YouTube as well, but a couple weeks ago, there was or months ago, a study, and it's like, okay, there's here's the blood work or something to diagnose somebody. Here's the symptoms, and here's their blood panel, and here's the blah blah blahs, and diagnose this person. And it was AI only, AI plus doctor, doctor only, right? And doctor only was like 72% right. Doctor plus AI, 74% right. So it's marginally better. AI by itself, 92%. So already the AI is more effective at diagnosing you and me than a doctor is. Which is like, what? So that's already the case. Which is great news, though, because AI doesn't have any ego. Doctors are humans. Humans have egos. You know, and the problem with being a doctor is it took you 12 years to become one, and in 12 years, a lot has happened technologically. And even if you're the doctor that is reading the journals and keeping up with all the latest medical science, you can't keep track of everything. There's just too much. And you're going to have biases because when you went to medical school, this is what you were taught. And this was true. And this was the answer 8 years ago. And you're going to have a hard time being like, oh crap, that's no longer what we think anymore at all. You want a really good example? You ready for this one? Alzheimer's. We were on a specific path of like treating, diagnosing, and doing things with Alzheimer's for like 20 years. And it turns out, total horse crap. They went down the wrong tunnel. And all that research, it turns out, totally wrong. Nope, not wrong way to do it. And a lot of people, humans have a really, really hard time admitting they were wrong and pivoting. We really, really, really have a hard time admitting we're wrong and going like, okay, new data. I'm readjusting all my facts and doing this going forward. AIs don't care. There's no ego. They're just like, it doesn't care. It's not trying to look good. It's just trying to accurately diagnose you. So, it's coming, team. It's coming. Like this world, these worlds colliding are going to happen. And, as I was saying earlier, two things are happening simultaneously. Part of the world is going to be on the AI train and is going to be plugged into the Matrix. Another part of the world is going to be like, no, I reject AI. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to go be a farmer, right? And like till the soil with my hands. And it's like, okay. So you're going to have like, they're going to be like the modern Amish versus like people zooming off into the AI world. And so you're going to have these two things diverging and happening simultaneously. And it's going to be neat to watch. It's going to be a fascinating thing. Well, Indiana Jones, I think those questions are actually deeper. I think those questions are deeper because one thing that does occur to me in this weird experiment of the last 25 years, right? It's 25 in the last 25 years, and in my own journey of this, of going through being like, when I was a young man in my 20s, I was a pretty like, if not atheist, pretty hardcore agnostic, you know. I was on like the Christopher Hitchens train, you know, God is not great, you know, Sam Harris and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and those guys, and like listening to them like debate religion, and I got like really into like that, you know, that world. And then what happened is the world got really secular, right? It got pretty secular. Or non-secular, excuse me. The world got pretty non-secular in the last 25 years. And in that void, people made new religion, complete with original sin, complete with heretics, complete with outcasts, complete with there's like all these weird parallels that line up with religion. They just took out the doctrine, which generated over thousands of years, right? So there's this ancient wisdom, thousands of years old, that people were like, it's stupid. That's all this bunch of hogwash, wish-wash, piddly-goop, right? It's all a bunch of stories and fairy tales. No value there. Okay. And what the result has been a fascinating social experiment. Where this ends up, I have no idea. But it's been a fascinating thing to watch as when you get rid of one. It almost occurs to me that humans, in a weird way, we almost need it. I don't know. It's interesting. I used to be way more like finger waggy in my youth. Way more finger waggy. Now I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to be way more sure of myself as a young man. And that's one thing that I think happens to a lot of people, you know. It's like the problem with stupid people is that they're really outspoken. Like, stupid people are really sure of themselves. It's like this, like the blind confidence of just being like, and they're just sure. And smart people, intelligent people, tend to be way more like, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe, like, yeah, well, but what about this, and what about that, and what about this, and I don't know, you know. I'm basically agnostic, yeah, because I can't, like, 100%, like, quote-unquote subscribe to, you know, pick one, you know, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, Taoist, what's some other big ones? Those are 7 biggies right there, 6 big ones. You know, you gotta pick one and be like, this is the one that I like. Okay, great. You know, it's like, whatever. You know, pick your poison. You know, go pantheistic, you know. I hear that the Norse gods are making a comeback. I hear that Odin and Thor and Floki are making a comeback. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's interesting to think about. But yeah. Anyway. Yes, Noah Drone. We've gone to like a deep ramble of random topics. We do know some things, Indiana Jones, you're correct. But ultimately, there's just so much we don't know in the long run. There's just so much we don't know, you know? And we just have to admit that to ourselves, that as much as we've learned, and the miracles we live with that are miracles, incredible, that it behooves one to be humble. I'm not saying you gotta buy everything and you gotta like jump on all the trains, but regardless of science, there's always mystery. And here's the great one, right? This is the great scientific mystery. And then I'll talk about something else because I'm turning people off. They're like, this is not a good subject for ASMR. I like the subject, but it's turning people away. The Big Bang, right? Everything of our modern physics says that it goes back to this one moment in time. And there was one moment 14.8 billion years ago, whatever that means. All of the universe was the size of a pin, right? And all the weight and all the mass of all the stars was the size of a pin. And one day it exploded into the universe. Okay. Okay. Sure. Why not? Maybe. I don't know. Was there nothing before then? I don't know, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Eventually, at some point, you just have to realize that, we're all just taking big leaps of faith with stuff that we just don't know. And that's what my point is. And I'm pro-science, baby. I am pro-science. I am pro-physics. I wanna get humans. I wanna live in Star Trek. I wanna live where we have like space stations and we're traveling to other galaxies and planets. I want that world. And the only way to get there is science. Totally agree. I'm not saying that's not the way to get there. The only way to get there is science, right? Not by voodoo and praying. That's not going to get you there. You got to do the math. You got to do the hard science. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm just saying that, and at some point, you just got to admit that we just don't know. I can't really combine theories. There are a lot of missing links. Big theories describe it. I agree with you. We don't know what gravity really is either. There you go. Wound to things does our species. I used to think that 007. I used to think that. I don't know neon waves. And Moon Reaper, maybe. Our physics says that you and I can't travel faster than the speed of light. Maybe. What if you can fold time? What if you can fold gravity? And the question is, would the world be better off without religion? 20 years ago, I would have very confidently said yes. 20 years ago, I would have confidently said yes. The world would be a better place without religion. Now, very unconvinced. Very unsure. Very unsure. Maybe. My gut tells me probably not. My gut tells me that without it, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's so strange how, there's these weird counterfactuals that one has to ponder, right? Where, on the one hand, well, for example, let's okay, we would be, without science, we would be blindly happy, unconsciously happy. Totally disagree. Sort of Melodrone. Good night, Miriam. Sweet dreams. Well, the issue with religion is that it gets dogmatic, right? And it gets to the point where it's like, humans are tribal. Humans have always been us versus them. It's built into our DNA, right? And we grew out of small tribes of around 30 to 60 individuals, and when it got past like 110 or 120 people, there's a name for it. It's like the something's law. It's not Moore's law. It's like something's law. And after you get, you can't know more than like 120 people or something. And our ancestors, all of our ancestors, grew up in these little tribal communities. And, if you were outcast, that's why public speaking is so terrifying. Did you know that? Humans have such a profound fear of public speaking because deep buried within your DNA is a real fear of being outcast. Your tribe rejecting you. And if your tribe rejected you, it was almost certain death. Like, you were not going to survive. If you were alone in the world, like, you weren't going to make it. So we have this weird embedded stuff that we still, it's terrifying. For many people, public speaking is terrifying, right? Why are we so afraid of looking bad? Why? Because exile meant death. So you have this ingrained genetic need to be accepted by the tribe. It's very, very important you cooperate, you get along. And if you're outcast, it was probably a death sentence. So it's interesting to think about, right? I had another cool example I was just thinking of. What was it? About, it'll come back to me. There's people with their beliefs all the time. Oh, so getting back, the thing about religion is it inevitably, to a degree, creates tribes, right? We have to think that our beliefs are the correct beliefs, and their beliefs are bad, wrong, and stupid. Our beliefs are wise, righteous, and profound. Their beliefs are like backwater and like those idiots over there thinking blah, 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 blah. And that's just humans. That's what humans do. I'm not sure that's avoidable. This is what we do. And so, I don't know. I'm not sure it's avoidable. Humans just love being tribal. Why do you think we like sports so much? Why do you think, Manchester versus Liverpool matters? Or Chelsea versus Real Madrid? Because we like a tribe. We love a team. We like rooting for our team and being mad at the other team. We love it. It's like human beings' favorite pastime. Yeah. So let's talk about about footy. Just talking about humans, culture, why we do what we do, the future of AI, where are we going, why was, what came first, the human or the religion? The human came first, obviously. But regardless of that, there's interesting narrative stories, though, that are profoundly useful for creating a beautiful, flourishing Dunbar's number. That's the one I was thinking of. Thank you, Megan. Dunbar's number. But there are these there are these. I'm not sure if humans could have flourished without it. I have serious doubts. I have very, very serious doubts. Starting with the Greeks, and the Greeks having their gods. Jupiter. No, the Greeks were not Jupiter, that's Roman. The Greeks were Zeus and Persephone and Hera and and then the Romans took those over, became Mars, Jupiter, Venus. But the same thing. But it was a religion. The Norse people, the pagan religions, Odin, Thor, Floki. Sorry, not Floki, Loki, the god of chaos, and all the other gods and goddesses. It's just what people do, and it occurs to me as, like I said, 20 years ago, I would have been like, nah, man, we would have been better off without it. Would have been better off, bro. I'm not so sure now. As I get a little older, I am not so sure. Yeah. Yeah, we're way down the rabbit hole. Logical. I agree with that, but I don't think that's the thing. I don't think the two are mutually exclusive, and evidence suggests they're not. Yes, there have been times in the past. The whole heretic thing, and Galileo, and, the flat earth hypotheses, and, like what people believed, right? And there's always been, the Spanish Inquisition, right? Burning witches at the stake. So there's always been horrific examples, right? Of people, using, quote unquote religion for whatever purpose they wanted to use it as whatever kind of a cudgel that they wanted to, clearly manipulating things. And at the exact same time, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like the religious scholars and the monks and who's the equivalent of, like, in the Arabs. So, like, back in like the turn of the century, in the 1st, 2nd century AD, I believe that the Persians and the Arabs were way ahead in mathematics and science and so forth. And so there's always been a blend of science and religion. There's always been a blend, and I'm not sure if they're fully mutually exclusive. Maybe in some scenarios, in some individuals, but anyway. It's just fascinating. Yeah. Just small and wave. So, yeah. I get what you're saying. I believe that the existence of any logical possibility of explaining with science there's no doubt. I believe we can doubt when there's no other alternative. It's very possible, my friend. It's very possible. I don't know. What I do know is that in my observation tells me that humans do not like uncertainty. We really don't like uncertainty. So whenever somebody comes along and says, like Ty over there on YouTube, and says, I have the definitive answers, and this is what it is the way it is. I always treat that with an extreme grain of salt. People just like certainty, man. And they like saying, I have the answers. No, leave it. It doesn't matter, Megan. All controversy is good controversy. And humans love certainty, man. So, what are you gonna do? When there's not that many people that are really okay. Hi, Kate. There's not that many people who are okay with, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's not that many people that are okay with it for some reason. And it always baffles me. Am I weird? Am I weird? Am I the exception where I've always been like, I don't know, maybe. It can be a problem because the most for the world type mentality. The problem with other people. Amen, Kate. Could not agree more, darling. And lovely to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful trip. Hope you had a good time. Hope you're having a good time. And, yeah. But like I said, most people cannot deal with uncertainty. Automnibus, it's a silly suggestion, basically saying if you removed a human's ability to quantify, qualify, would you doubt religion? I guess not. We wouldn't really be humans with free will at that point, which I guess would be a good thing. No idea, mate. I have no idea. I don't know. If you, I mean, that may be true, Noah. I'm not going to debate, which religion is the best, and whether or not you should be a Buddhist, or you should be a Hindu, or you should be a Muslim, or you should be Jewish, or Christian. I don't know. That's for you to answer. And I'll go back to what I said before. Everybody just likes certainty. I have the answers. The world is a scary place. Well, don't you worry. Don't you worry, young whippersnapper. I have all the answers over here. Come join me. All the things you've been questioning. I have all these answers for you. Okay. Okay. Maybe. And there's wisdom in it. I'm not saying there's not ancient wisdom. I'm just saying that, humans hate uncertainty. That's my bit. I'm out. Checking into Texas. No worries, Kate. Enjoy Texas, darling. So lovely to see you. Maybe you a hug. Give your Kate before you leave. Big hug. Thank you for everything and all your incredible support. Deeply appreciate you. Have a lovely time. Enjoy your trip. Oh, God, Schnurget, Kate. You just gotta do that, don't you? You just gotta come in and just do that, don't you, Kate? You just gotta... Thanks, Kate. You're just the best. You're just the best. Thanks, Kate. Appreciate you. What a thwomp sauce there. Well, yeah, people, that's the thing. Yeah, people, unfortunately, weaponize. They'll manipulate and use things in ways that clearly have nothing to do with the founding teachings. And that always happens, That's, you too, Ty. You have a blessed day too, bro. I guess it's just what people do, unfortunately. It's just what people do. Yeah, and I think holy books are very, very useful. Very, very useful. I'm just saying that, I don't have the answers. I don't know. I used to be much more. This is the way. In my youth, I used to be much more, like I said, almost like more militant atheist, if you will, when I was a younger man. Now, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Life's weird. You know, there's just, you'll predict things. Here's another example of like you expect things to go a type of way, and then you run the experiment and the opposite happens, right? So it's like running the experiment. Would it be better, would people be better without religion? Well, there's no real way to run that experiment. But one thing they could do, an interesting experiment that's been done in the last 30 years is, what if you removed as many gender norms as possible, right? What if you remove as many these are boys' toys, these are girls' toys, these are boy things, these are boy activities, these are girl activities, right? Blue is boy, pink. What if you remove all that crap, right? What would happen? And this is what the Nordic model attempted. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, some Finland as well. It's let's say let's remove these societal things about gender. And what we predict will be the natural outgrowth of this is that men and women will pursue more of the same likes and interests. You will get more women in science and math. You're going to get more men in nursing and teaching, and you're going to, that's going to be the outcome, right? No. Wait, what? Yeah, that wasn't the outcome. When you stripped away as much as we've ever seen of, excuse me, of gender normativity in the world, what you saw, excuse me, but it's not about the government, it's about what people's interests and pursuits were. And what you found was men went way more into the science, math, and tech fields. Women went way more into the humanities, including doctoring, nursing, teaching, things like that. And so the results didn't match the hypothesis. And isn't that weird? So why? Why is that the case? Right? It's fascinating, though. So if in the place where they took it away the most, which is the Nordic model, right, Scandinavia, you didn't see this melding of men and women all want to do the same jobs now. You didn't see that. In fact, you saw almost a harder bifurcation, almost a deeper split in pursuing these different. I'm not saying this is across the board, but that's what happened. And it's why? The answer to me is because there's just a ton more genetic than you and I think. It's certainly not tabula rasa or a clean slate where everything is societal. Everything, gender related is societal. Well, that's not the case. When you turned out you removed it, the world didn't become more, the societies didn't become more genderless. They became almost more bifurcated in a weird way. So, weird, right? There's obviously nature and nurture. And my hunch is, and this is purely my hunch, is that society and religion are probably similar. I wonder, and I'm just hypothesizing, if there's like some part of our genetic makeup that is just more built in for it. Shh, hush dog. Hush dog. That is just more built into it. I don't know. It occurs to me that way. It occurs to me that it might just be a part of being a human. Weird, right? Yeah. And yeah, Willy Dippy, I'd say that hypothesis has proven true. Yeah, genetic coding, documented about. Yeah, there you go. Look, there's just a lot of stuff that is, like I said, we just don't know. We just don't know. Yeah, I thought I was going to do Blackjack Bruto, but it's already 3:30, 32. Only have like 30 minutes left. And we kind of got on this weird, started off with AI, and then AI kind of led to religion. And that led to like topics of like original thought and tribalism. And then that thought led to me going to, the land of the Nordic model and like seeing what happened when they went fully egalitarian, and when what that would look like, and how it's simply when we ran that experiment. My point is, when we ran the experiment, it did not go the way we thought it would go. All the social scientists predicted that if you got rid of boys are blue and girls are pink and boys do this kind of play and girls do that kind of play, and if you just got rid of all that nonsense, that you would have a completely different society. And it just didn't happen. So it's like, well, what does that mean? That just means that there's probably more to meets the eye. That's all. There's probably more than meets the eye. But, yeah. And there you go. So anyway, guys, welcome to my TED Talk. Hey there, googly eye. Appreciate it, bud. I'm doing good, Lars. Thanks for asking, mate. And, yes, Noah asked if I've ever searched for relationship or meaning through any religion before. Yes, I have. Absolutely. To a certain extent, the egalitarian model is still... Well, I think there's a lot of reasons, Neon. Thank you, Lewis Whitmax. I don't know, specific. There's a lot of reasons that, what is happiness? I don't know. That's one of those weird things where they like, what's the happiest country? I don't know, man. I mean, it's like you're self-diagnosing. Are you happy? I don't know, maybe. But I will say, one thing that helps, like with countries like the Nordic model, like, again, Denmark, Sweden, Norway. What is the population of each of those countries? Like, real question. How many people live in Denmark? How many live in Norway? And how many live in Sweden? Like, does any one of those countries have more than 30 million people? Like, real question, I don't know. Norway's 5, 10, and 8. Okay, so basically, in these entire countries, whole countries are smaller than Los Angeles. Whole country is smaller than Los Angeles. And those countries are extremely homogenized. Be honest. Be honest. Those countries, up until yesterday, y'all have some issues now, but until yesterday, were extremely homogenized. It just makes life easier, man. It's way less othering. So, yeah, does that make for a happier society? In general, being spread out is really, really helpful. So you're not on top of each other. You have your whole countries that are like super, like massively spread out. I don't know. It just makes for happier people. I think, there's a weird thing that happens when you get too many people. Thanks, Forma. Forma de Jurlev. Much appreciated there, bud. Well, they are thwomp sauce, but that's why I'm saying until yesterday, until 15 years ago. And then everything started getting weird, but, we'll see how they handle it. I don't know. They're experiencing the growing pains that comes with a multi-world, multicultural world. And they're Europe and Scandinavia, you're all dealing with it. And that's when cultures clash. It happens. When cultures collide, you're going to get friction. Period. That's why America's so fascinating, right? It's like, we've just been such a weird hodgepodge for so long. But, look, America is not, we're messed up, dudes. Like, America is a messed up country. Let's not kid ourselves, and, let's go back and quote the Bible. Let he among us who is without sin cast the first stone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, this is a... Well, Thwomp, I understand that. I mean, look, there's an argument for it. It's hard. It's just difficult. It's just difficult when you have clashing cultures. It's just going to be difficult because one culture thinks they're right, one culture thinks they're right. Now, I would give a nod that anybody coming into a new space, it occurs to me as like if I moved to Sweden, I would try to behave like a Swiss person. If I moved to Egypt, to the best of my ability, I would try to behave as an Egyptian to the best of my ability, right? It's like, I'm in your country, these are your rules and customs, and I will try to be like you. And it gets very weird when people go to another place and are like, you need to be the way I was back there. And it's like, well, that's gonna get weird. Shh, hush dog. Shh, hush dog. Shh. That's enough. Yeah, so when that happens, you're gonna get friction, and it's gonna be tough. And I have no answers for you. I'm just acknowledging that it's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, well, Jace, it is what it is, dude. That's what's neat. And I'll tell you, Lewis, it was really interesting visiting China. It was a fascinating thing. It was really neat, seeing China and experiencing the Chinese culture, the kindness, the warmth, the generosity. But one thing you gotta say, what's really interesting, though, about basically basically every country other than America, you know? I love watching the Olympic parade. I love it when you watch the Olympics and you watch the athletes come in from the various countries. You know who Team China is. You know who Team Japan is. You know who Team Senegal is. You know who Team England is. Team America is like this crazy hodgepodge, right? Like Team America is just like all over the place. And it's just interesting how, to my knowledge, is there any other country like this? Like, real question. Is there any other country where you look at the Olympic lineup walking in the Olympic parade and you go, whoa, like they're from everywhere, man. Like, that's just a wild mix of humans from all walks of life, all different ancestries, different histories, different backgrounds. And I think that's cool. But we've had our growing pains, is my point. It has not been kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? Like having this crazy melting pot of all these different nationalities and countries, right, has not been kumbaya by any means. And yet, we are where we are, and it's interesting, right? But, like, when you go to China, baby, it's all Chinese. I mean, there's a few tourists, a few, who are like from a couple other places. But baby, you walk around China, and it is all Chinese, man. You know what I'm saying? This is neat. This is neat. I have not been to Portugal. Portugal looks beautiful. I would love to go to Portugal. It looks like an amazing country. 4,000 athletes. I know, we got a lot of athletes. It's a whole lot of athletes. It's true. And maybe it won't ever be kumbaya. But here's the thing. I remember this, feeling this directly. It was wild. So, when I was in China, I guess swag scope, but my point stands. I said what I said. The vast majority of countries are very homogenized still. The vast majority. And where you're seeing the blending happening, you're seeing a lot of conflict. That's all I'm saying. It's messy. But what I was going to say about China, which was fascinating, China is very authoritarian. There's no doubt about it. There's CCTV cameras everywhere. Like, it's weird. Maybe you guys have that in, like, London, but, like, in China, it is CCTV everywhere, okay? And, my goodness gracious, I felt really safe. I'm telling you, I felt really safe in mainland China. It's like, and I get it, right? At what cost? And I was neat was that even when we went to Hong Kong, so just, now part of China, but Hong Kong's still a little different. Still, like, it's sort of separate. Walking at night in Hong Kong definitely felt a tiny bit more dangerous. Not like I'm walking through, like, Skid Row or some bad neighborhood in, like, South Central. I'm not saying it was like that. But I'm saying it's interesting how the correlation of freedom versus authoritarianism and the balance I felt. Theo Von 78. Cute. I love Theo. I was in the Groundlings with Theo back in the day. if you have one more authoritarian, you get safety, right? But you have less freedom. You have less authoritarianism, a lot of freedom, but you really feel a danger. Like, do I have to worry about somebody coming out and like acting the fool against me? It was weird. I'm very glad I got to spend 3 weeks in China and truly experience like a very different culture and a different world. And it works, obviously. Like millions of people in China are living fascinating lives. Modern lives, right? Super high tech, super cutting edge, you know? This is interesting. Yeah, the world's a neat place, man. The world's a neat place. And, oh yeah, somebody asked what's tomorrow's video. It's going to be Edna Mode. Edna Mode. What is it? What did I say? What's the title? Anyway. You're going to like it. It's going to be fun. And yeah, Willy Dippy, no country is perfect. Of course no country is perfect. Give me a break. What does perfect mean? Of course there's nothing that's perfect. Neon ways, but Europe is kind of like the center of humanity. Spoken like a true Frenchman. I love you. I love you. Don't worry. The French have the same problem that the Americans do. We're very like, we're the best. You can't help it. Appreciate you, Neon Ways. Appreciate you, buddy. But worldly things are indeed never perfect. No, they are not. And Manolo have nuts. Howdy, darling. I don't know if they're definitely parts of them are ahead of us, Lewis. Other parts are not. Yeah. And Jace, I 100% feel you, buddy. It's, you know, there's certain places you don't feel safe, and other places you do. Swags, thank you, Linda. Also, not far from the truth, considering that we have Mesopotamia time. Ancient Greeks didn't take also they started from then. And that's true, Swag Scope. You know, it may, and there is a very good argument to be made that there's a very strong argument to be made that democracy, invented by the Greeks, all spread from drinking fortified wine with ergot and other psychedelics, and that the Greeks basically mushroom tripped their way into discovering democracy through psychedelics. There is a very strong argument to be made that it was through the use of psychedelics that modernity was invented. Because before that, it was like just the king or the ruler, right? You had the king or the ruler, the tribe, whoever was in charge, of the chief, whatever. And the Greeks are like, wait a minute, hear me out. Let me finish. What if we vote on people and they don't stay in the top? What if they switch out and we elect people and this is the foundation of democracy, right? Interesting. I just think there's a very strong argument to be made. And there's another one by John Mark Allegro, the Mushroom and the Sacred Cross. Are you guys familiar with this one? John Mark Allegro's work, The Mushroom and the Sacred Cross. So he was Allegro was a religious scholar. And I sort of Willy did, but we're kind of our own thing now. So Allegro was a theologian, and back in the 70s, he went to go study this new discovery, the Dead Sea Scrolls, which I'm sure you've heard of. So Allegro spends 20 years studying and translating the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were books that were not necessarily included in the Bible, but were written down around the same time, and many other these ancient works that are thousands of years old. And what the conclusion that John Mark Allegro came to, this is going to be very controversial, okay? It's going to be very controversial. This is not fact. This is a hypothesis. But what he came to the conclusion of, as a theologian, was that Christianity, its origins can more or less go back to being a mushroom cult. And if you view a lot of biblical stories through the interpretation of a psychedelic experience, it makes a lot more sense. So there's a translation that in the ancient Aramaic, the word rain, loosely translated to God's semen. And when it would rain, God was fertilizing the land. And out of these, and especially what happened with mushrooms, is that the day before, there would be no mushroom, the rain would come, and literally mushrooms would spring forth in like one night. And people, before too long, realized like some of these are special mushrooms. They're magic mushrooms. And it began as like the ancient Christianity began as a ritualistic psychedelic experience. And this explains one of the, like for example, the burning bush. Well, the burning bush experience is very weird. But it turns out that probably was an acacia bush. And it turns out that the acacia bush is really high in DMT, dimethyltryptamine. So maybe Moses got super high and had a vision and a talk with God. And so, but again, the work of religious scholar John Mark Allegro says that this is likely where it came from. And another weird one, let's tie in this whole thing to Santa Claus. Why? And AI is getting wild, bro. If you look at old postcards from like the 20s or the 1910s or the 1880s, a lot of Christmas cards had mushrooms on them. Google it. Google old Christmas cards, and there's a lot of weird mushroom iconography on there. Why? Well, so it turns out, and why are there reindeer involved? What the heck? So, here's where Santa Claus came from. There was a mushroom cult, and they would get together and trip balls, and it was a secret society, and the way they would distribute these magical mushrooms was by, you got it, dropping them down the chimney. Weird. And it turns out that if you consume Amanita muscaria mushrooms, prepared correctly, it takes a lot of Amanita muscaria to get high. I've never done it, but so I've been told. But a weird thing happens where your liver metabolizes it and it concentrates in your urine. So people would be in their houses tripping balls on these red and white Amanita muscaria mushrooms. They would go outside to take a piss. Well, the reindeer loved to trip balls. They would almost tackle the people to eat their piss out of the snow because it was concentrated Amanita muscaria. And so this whole myth of like reindeer and Santa Claus and all this stuff, I'm pretty sure, if I was a betting man, all derives from these mushroom cults who were spreading the psychedelic experience of the Amanita muscaria, and reindeer somehow knew about this and would like really go after like eating yellow snow, more or less, which I find fascinating. And so, yeah, it's interesting, like, where does this stuff come from? And when you really look back into it, there's just a weird correlation between the Greeks. We know the Greeks were partying on spiked wine. We know the Greeks were doing this in the Eleusinian mysteries and like all this stuff. Like, we know the Greeks were partying, and it wasn't wine, it was spiked wine. It had ergot and other things. They were tripping balls, okay? From the Greeks, you go to early Christianity, which a lot of suggestion was derived around psychedelics and love your brother, everything is one, we are all peace and love, you and I, the I and I, there's no separation between you and me, you and I are experiencing connection and a deep oneness and a cosmic unity. Well, you know what gets you there? Psychedelics. So it occurs to me as completely rationally logical that Christianity, this love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek, we're all in this together, stemmed from a psychedelic experience. Just wouldn't surprise me, man. Would not surprise me. So I'm pretty sure that I've managed to offend many people. I hope not, though. No, seriously, I hope not. I hope I just think it's neat, man. Should take some of the stream. No, that was a terrible idea. Well, and Willie Dippy, we'll see, mate. There's somebody recently posted. My dad posed this question to I forget which one. It was ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini. One of these AIs, and he said, "What are the odds? What do you like really think the odds are that AI will take over humanity?" And excuse me, it thought about it. It thought about it for a minute, and you know what it came back with? 36%. So according to it, there's a 36% chance that the AIs just take over everything and end humanity. There's a 64% chance that we somehow assimilate, work together, teamwork. But yeah, that was an interesting kind of sobering logic that it gave. That was a very sobering, and I agree with you, Willie Dippy. And Lewis, White Max Shadow, you can't stop it. This can't be stopped. Any more than you could wish that it didn't rain tomorrow or someplace. This is happening. Like, AI is here. AI is coming. And the question is, will we assimilate in some cool, neat way? Or will we make it work and get to a post-scarcity world, much like Star Trek, where energy is free? We have all the energy you can possibly want. Food, free. We can replicate anything. We can just create any healthy food for anybody anytime we want, where we live in a world of true post-scarcity. Nobody has to get sick. There's no cancer. There's no horrible thing. Like, we can solve these problems. Maybe we live in that world. Maybe that world's coming. Or, the paperclip scenario happens and some AI is just trying to make as many paperclips as possible and turns the world into a paperclip manufacturer. We don't know. We'll find out. But it is going to be fun to watch. And you and I, my friends, have a front row seat to the big show. Because whatever happens in the next 10 years, it's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be earth-shifting, planet-shifting things are changing right now. And you and I get a front row seat to the big show. So, enjoy it. Because what else are you going to do? Gnash your teeth and scream at the sky? Bury your head in the sand? Psst. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, my friends. It's going to be wild. All right. Oh, yeah, native engine. Yeah, YouTube thing, exactly. What Megan said. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining me on this weird journey tonight. Appreciate you all very much. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube and catch you all on the flip side. New Edna Mo drops tomorrow. Take care, YouTube. And for our friends over here on El Twitch, oh my gosh,